With Team J's Classroom Fun. I'm so excited to be back with you today. As we are entering the month of February, I wanted to share with you some of my favorite Valentine's Day read alouds. So these are my favorite ones to share during the month of February. You could technically use them all year long, but obviously February tends to be the time they're most used. The other thing I want to share with you is not only am I going to share my favorite books to use for read aloud, but I'm also going to share with you some ways that you could use these in the classroom with some reading and writing activities to extend the lesson and not just make it only a read aloud. So here is our first book. The first one we have is Love Monster. And this is a super cute book about this poor little monster that just wants to be loved. For this one, I have a few different ideas for you. One of the ideas you could do is you obviously could do story elements. So who are the characters? What is the setting? What is the problem? What is the solution? That is a great activity for this book and also tying in some reading comprehension skills. Another thing kids could do, and I've seen some do this before online, maybe on Pinterest somewhere or on Instagram somewhere, but kids could create their own love monster. They love creating things. This can be a fun little craft project, coloring project, and they can create their own love monster. The other thing they can do is come up with character traits for the love monster. So how is the love monster acting? How are they feeling? What are their inside and outside traits? And then also for a writing prompt, you could ask kids like, what would you do? Or how would you help the love monster find a friend? So those are some ideas for this fun story. Next up, we have Love Splat. So Splat is a series. I know there's a Halloween one. There might be some other ones too, but it's a really fun series. In this book, there are definitely going to be some rhyming words. And so one of the things you could do is have kids create their own rhyming poem where they're using rhyming words. It could be a Valentine poem or it could just be a regular poem, but they could create their own. Another thing you could do in this story, because this is all about him giving his little Valentine away, you could have kids obviously make their own Valentine cards. Again, you could do story elements where they're trying to figure out who are the characters in the story, what was the problem the character was facing, how did they solve that problem, and then also character traits. So they could be looking at the main character. They could also be looking at one of the supporting characters in the book, but coming up with traits for how the character is acting and feeling. Next up, I love this one, Crankenstein Valentine. I love this book. Again, I want to say this is a series where they have some more, like I feel like there's a Crankenstein Halloween one. I don't know why I keep going to Halloween, but that seems to be what they have. Again, for this one, like you could with any picture book, you could do story elements. So focusing on who are the characters in the story, what's the setting, again, what is the problem the character is facing, and then what are the solutions. You also could do character traits with him. He is feeling a lot of different feelings. There's definitely some inside and outside traits that would be great to put into practice with this. And then this could also be great for a fun little opinion writing activity. You can have students do a writing activity where they're having to write, do they like Valentine's Day? Why or why not? And then having to give reasons to support why they either like Valentine's Day or why they do not. Next up, we have, the Spot series. Okay. We love these books at my school. We love these for, all kinds of different things, talking about feelings and things, but A Little Spot of Love is such a cute little Valentine's edition. So for this one, they could create their own love spot. So they could create their own little spot that would fit in for Valentine's Day. They could also write compliments to one another. This could go into some bucket filling too, especially if you do that in your classroom. Maybe they could each draw a name and need to write a compliment to that friend. And then they also could write some affirmations for themselves or even some affirmations that you could put around the classroom for people when they need it. Last but not least, there's also, I swear, all these books, it's like they have these series for like all the holidays. So I was going to say this one too, they have it for a lot. I know I shared one of the winter versions in the January read alouds. So this one, there was an old lady who swallowed a rose. Obviously, we know the series. We know how this goes. This can be a great book to use for sequencing. There's, something that happens first, second, next, last, blah, 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 blah. So this would be a great one to use for sequencing. You could even have them help you sequence the parts of the story. They also could create their own version. So come up with their own version of what would happen with the lady who swallowed a rose or maybe swallowed a heart or I don't know, something else Valentine's Day themed. You also could have them work on adding adjectives to the story. So this could be one where you talk about adjectives and then what kind of adjectives could we add to the story that would fit in with what's happening. And then also this one has rhyming words as most of us know. And so they could work on identifying the rhyming words. So those are the ideas that I have for you today. I will be back sharing more monthly read alouds as the year progresses. Please let me know if you have any questions. You can drop your questions down in the comments. I'm also going to share all of these books I will share the affiliate links. So it will be really easy for you to go grab it in Amazon if you're looking to get any of these books for your classroom. With affiliate links, I do make a tiny commission from the purchase, but it does not change your price or anything for you at all. And it just helps me keep everything going. So if you're interested in grabbing the books, the links are down in the description. And I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you later.